Welcome to this tutorial for Requirement Yogi Cloud. When you manage a project, you want an overview of the status of your project, see if your requirements have been approved, check the test results, and have a board that looks like this with the data from your requirements. The traceability is the most important part of Requirement Yogi, so let's get started. First, we recommend to filter the first column of requirements with the strongest object, in our case, business requirements. To add columns, click on the cog menu and select the new column you desire. Here, I am adding some properties and some dependencies. You can of course rearrange columns with the drag and drop. Using the same menu, you can also add JIRA issues and their fields. These are one of the examples you can use, but you're totally free to show whatever you want as we do not mandate any specific structure. A few tips. If you don't see the properties that you're looking for, remember that you need to be on the correct column to display the attribute assigned to it. Here, the cost property is not on the BR, but on the FN. Sometimes the column titles are very long, because you have drilled into several columns deep. To shorten it, you can double-click on the header. If you want to calculate the coverage of your requirements, the percentage of completion of your project, or a sum of estimates, you can use the calculations. Possibilities are endless, so make sure to get started with the tutorial. Now that the matrix is built, you'll want to use it as a report and share it with team members or stakeholders. You can export the matrix to Excel as an archive, for example. You can also save the matrix for later so you do not have to rebuild it again and make it visible to any user in the space. The small arrow here will show your recent matrices, or you can go to the Saved Matrices tab to find all your matrices, edit their names and permissions. Note that only space admins and creators of a matrix can edit its permissions and content. If you want to make this report public and add context to it, you can insert the matrix in a Confluence page using the RY report macro. Edit your page and begin typing /rec to choose the macro. In this dialog, you'll be able to search the matrix by name or choose one from another space. Your matrix needs to be public to be displayed in the report macro. The content of the report is dynamic, which means it will automatically change according to the modifications you make on your live requirements. If you have external properties in your report, it is possible to make them editable from the Confluence page. Select the matrix, and voila! Once you start to manage large numbers of requirements, it is good to be aware of a few other tips. In the Traceability tab, the total cell count of the matrix is limited to 100,000. For example, 10,000 rows of 10 columns. We display up to 500 requirements and 1,000 JIRA issues per page. If you have more than that, the content will not be displayed properly. It may happen that your traceability times out after 2 minutes if you display too many JIRA fields other than the key and too many page titles. This happens because we do not store the data itself, and we send your requests to Confluence or JIRA to display them. It may also take some time to load if your calculations formula are too complex. About exports, there is a limit up to 15,000 requirements. If you need to export all your requirements, we suggest to divide your requirements in separate batches. We also do not export images. You are now an expert on the Traceability Matrix. Let us know if you have any inputs to give us, or if you think we do not cover your use case. Continue your training with the next videos on calculations and the external properties.